Hey, At Home Fit fam, welcome to At Home Fitness with Coach A, the YouTube channel that aims to bring you guys in gym quality coaching and workouts for your at home or garage gym needs. Now, today is Friday, October 9th, and we are looking at day number 208 of our at home programming series. Two pieces on tap for today. The first one is going to be a 9-minute AMRAP, something that is a little bit slower, more challenging to get us ready for Super Sucky Saturday that's coming tomorrow. And we have an accessory piece that's going to be focused on the core today. So we're looking 9-minute AMRAP, 10 alternating kettlebell cleans. Now, suggested weight here, or the RX weight, so to speak, is going to be a 53-pound kettlebell for the guys and a 35-pound kettlebell for the ladies. 10 reps alternating, meaning you're going to do 5 each side. Coming from the ground, that clean is going to be more of a power or muscle clean, specifically as opposed to a full-on squat clean. So no squatting today unless we're thinking about setting up on the kettlebell in that position. The second movement is going to be a strict toe to bar. If you don't know what that is, stick around and I will demonstrate it for you. The rep scheme is going to be ascending. So we are going to do 10 alternating kettlebell cleans, 1 strict toe to bar, 10, 2 strict toe to bar, 10, and then 3 strict toe to bar. The second piece today is going to be some core work. I want you guys to focus on quality here, but I also want you focused on challenging yourself and working through that burn. We're going to go for 5 minutes and you're going to perform 20 total Russian twists. The suggested weight is going to be a 20-pound ball for the guys and a 14-pound ball for the ladies. And every one of those reps is going to count, meaning every tap, every time you turn to a hip, that is a rep. So you can think of it over and back as 10. Now, we're going to stay on the ground, drop that ball down, or you can use it to weight the hips if you want. And we're going to have 5 right, 5 left, single leg glute bridge before we go back to our next round of Russian twist. Stick around if you guys are looking for explanations and demonstrations, and also possible modifications for today's workout. All right, guys, as mentioned earlier, we're looking at a 9-minute AMRAP for the workout today. We're going to alternate between 2 movements. That's going to be a kettlebell clean, more specifically a kettlebell muscle clean, alternating arms for 10 reps. Notice how the kettlebell is rotating on the hip extension. The elbow stays down tight to the body, and it just kind of rolls and slides into that elbow crease, so to speak. You can also see how I'm utilizing the opposite hip and leg a little more aggressively than the same side, a little cross-body snap in that cleaning action. So hit 10, 5 each side, head over to the bar, and we hit our single strict toe to bar. I want you guys to control all the way back down as well before going back to that next round. Now, if you can tell here, I'm making a little slightly different transition. I'm trying to switch hands in the air on the way back down. It's going to speed me up a little bit, but it's also going to spike my heart rate a little bit more. Theoretically here, we're just using this as a performance measure to increase speed and heighten the score. So after those 10 kettlebell cleans, heading back to the bar, it's going to be to this round. It's going to be an ascending rep scheme for the strict toe to bar, control all the way up and control all the way down. All right, guys, as I mentioned earlier, our accessory piece today is going to focus on core work. We have some rotational movements and then some glute balancing. So we're starting with the Russian twist. Notice the ball is touching the ground, feet are off the floor, knees are slightly bent. If we need to modify this, we can just cross the hips there as you're seeing me do now. So it's not actually going to the floor, but it is breaking past those hip bones on each side. Now, I'm going to set myself up here for the single leg glute bridge, 5 each side. Notice that as the left leg is pushing through the heel, squeezing the glute and coming up to extension, the right leg is extending and then bending on the way up. What that's going to do is allow me to not be able to compensate additionally with the opposite hip and glute hamstring to try and utilize both sides for that extension. Stay tuned for movement modifications. All right, a couple different things we are working on modifying today. Obviously, we have our workout and then our accessory piece. So with that kettlebell clean, super easy to turn that into, obviously from the ground, a dumbbell clean alternating sides. If we want to go with 2 because our dumbbells are light, that's fine. We can always touch the ground, even punch under it a little bit more like a power clean if we want to, or we can stay in that hang position, snap the hips up into something that's more like a hang muscle clean. Obviously, super easy for you guys to modify this with a barbell, right? We're working through our power cleans, working on cycling them, in which case it should be a pretty light weight. I probably wouldn't go higher than maybe a 95, 65 guys, girls RX number for that, because I want you to be able to cycle through those cleans, those power cleans relatively quickly and easily so that we get a decent number of those strict toe to bar. Speaking of those strict toe to bar, if we don't have the strength to get our feet all the way to the bar, perfectly fine. We're still going to use the bar, and we're going to bring those legs up in front, trying to keep that leg nice and straight, maybe even point the toes and flex the quads a little bit, okay? We can always just bring the knees up if that's what we need. If we're on the ground because we don't have this, then I want you guys to try and do a strict via, meaning we're not swinging back and forth, we're laying flat, we're coming up, touching the toes with hands, and then we're laying ourselves back down, so there isn't really any rhythm being built up into it. If we really need to back that off, we can always make it a straight-legged sit-up where those legs stay on the ground, stay straight together, hands, shoulders go all the way back, hands, shoulders come all the way up. Now, second piece today is the Russian twist and glute bridge. Glute bridge, I'm going to keep it as simple as put your 2 feet down and do the glute bridges for 10, as opposed to doing single leg. I want you guys to get that glute work in. I want the posterior work. So that should be something that nobody needs to modify beyond a 2-foot non-weighted hip extension, so to speak. On the Russian twist, as I talked about, you guys don't have to touch the ground. Even if we're in that position and the hands and shoulders are rotating side to side, we're still getting that lateral work. One of the other ways you guys can do that is just putting the heels on the ground, or maybe putting, so if this plate was the wall, putting the heels on the ground and the toes against the wall, and then from there bending the knees and using that to help me control that rotation back and forth side to side without falling over.